South Texas is the land of every whitetail hunter's dreams. The brush of this land holds the perfect combination of nutrition to fully complement the natural, world-class genetics this area is known for. The Native Americans also thought highly of this area for hunting, as is evidenced by the amount of hunting artifacts. Points for arrows and spears are found often in this landscape. One ranch in particular that I look forward to visiting every year is the Charco Marrano Ranch. But it's not just for the bucks. It's for the family that I've come to love as my own. This hunt was for one of the biggest frame bucks I've ever seen. After an extended drought, the land was treated to a monsoon season that made getting around a chore.
We went from having the most ridiculous drought year ever to this. It's like springtime out here. We've been monsoon rain conditions for the last month, so we're actually having to quad in to our spots down here. You can't get around, but it's gonna make it interesting. It's gonna be buggy, it's gonna be snaky, and hopefully it's gonna be muy grande.
One day we passed a great buck knowing there was a giant in the area. My great friend Cody Robbins was after a giant of his own, and anticipation filled the air. The next morning, we nearly finished off the quad as it groaned through the mud. We decided we would go it on foot for the rest of the trip.
I got my Ronald McDonald rubber boots on. Can't even shake it up. Look at that. As you can see, we're still pretty wet, so we're gonna go trudging through. We're doing a little change up. We're gonna ditch the quad this afternoon and walk in. And hopefully the difference is gonna be that the stealth mode will pay off. But I got a good feeling about tonight.
The evening sit was one I'll never forget. A spastic young buck kept spooking the deer we were watching as he'd run all around acting like he saw or smelled something, only to come right back in and feed. I wondered if this tactic had worked for him in the past and allowed him to fill his belly. If you've hunted old age-class bucks long enough, you have a sense when an evening feels right. This was one of those. Towards sunset, he appeared. A buck we call Valdez. The second I saw him, I became tense all over. It's a privilege just to be in the presence of a buck like this. It was so quiet, I was afraid to breathe for fear of spooking him. I begged him to keep coming towards our blind in my mind, but he hung up and gave us a long stare. Suddenly, the crazy young buck blew out and stopped about 100 yards away. Valdez, as many old bucks will do, decided he wasn't going to take any chances. And so it goes with hunting old age-class bucks. He would not make another appearance on that trip.
The deer of my lifetime stepped out at 59 yards. I will never forget the look on Glenn's face when he spotted him through the brush there. I just looked over and you grabbed my knee and...
That's pretty neat.
Don't move.
You don't get that look all the time.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Glenn's seen all sizes of deer out here in the South Texas brush year after year, and when you get his attention, it gets everybody's attention. It was so close. Oh.
We returned a month later. Fall and drier conditions had set in. The rut would be starting in a couple weeks, and bucks were feeding heavily to power up for it. The landscape was completely different. Wet, green, and mud was now dry, yellow, and dust. Classic South Texas. First morning of the hunt was so still it felt like you couldn't move at all without being heard. As the light was changing from blue to orange, we were treated to another buck, a very wide 10-point that was exciting to see. The next morning was incredibly still and quiet once again. A young buck made his way in front of us and kept peering toward his back trail. I slowly strained my neck to peek around and see what that buck was looking at. As I did, I caught sight of Valdez.
That's Valdez.
My heart began racing like I had just climbed a mountain. His 7.5-year-old body and giant frame screamed dominance. He was feeding right in front of us. He had every ounce of my attention. The sun was blasting into the pop-up window and I was petrified to draw and have him catch the movement. Finally, when I couldn't see his eyes, I quickly drew, but the other buck that had fed out of my sight picture caught the movement and ran off. As if by fate, Valdez hesitated and gave me the extra second I needed to settle my pen.
Good job.
The excitement that follows taking a buck of this caliber, my personal best at this time, is beyond words.
That deer had me all kind of tore up. As soon as he stepped out, it is so quiet. We've got a 2-mile-an-hour wind this morning. And when he stepped out, I started breathing so hard. I was afraid he was going to see the fog of my breath. And I got to shaking because I couldn't breathe. I'm still shaking. Yes, I love South Texas. That's my biggest whitetail ever. The buck, he only ran about 15 yards. And he walked about another 30 or 40. And his head's starting to hang easy. We're going to give him a little bit of time, but he didn't get bowled off like you would expect. But it's late November, a cold day in South Texas at the Charco Marrano. I've dreamed of that deer since I was a kid. He is beautiful. Did he look large and in charge? If you've ever seen the movie Valdez is Coming, we call that deer Valdez. And when I saw him, I knew it was meant to be because my wife texted me yesterday and said, tomorrow morning, I predict tomorrow morning. And I'm glad to admit that she was right. Good job. Good job. Really good. There's a lot of blood. We're gonna give this deer some time because I believe the head was that looks like liver blood to me. I think it's just a touched back, and we will find this deer, but we're gonna take our time, not push it. And at the end of that blood trail, it's gonna be the buck of my lifetime. giving it a few hours, and got a great sign on this arrow, and we're going to go in and track him. We're going to do it quietly, and just hoping for the best. This is the buck of my lifetime, so stay close. Oh, Valdez is coming home. Oh my goodness. That is a South Texas whitetail right there. Wow. Sticker point. Yeah. Today I got the biggest buck of my life, and I am beside myself, and it was a less than perfect shot, but it's bow hunting is a game of inches, and this literally, if this arrow had been 1 inch forward or 1 inch up from the spot it's in, it would have been a perfectly deadly shot. But as it was, it went on for most of the day before we caught up with him. But we've got him now, and we're thankful for that. So I'm speechless. This is the buck of my dreams. I've always loved framey deer, and this deer's got a heck of a frame on him. So, the Charco Marrano Ranch, free range South Texas whitetails. It really and truly doesn't get any better, and I could not be more thankful.
And the curbside service.
And the curbside service. Oh. Give me 5, give me skin, right here, double doubles.
The venison from this buck was particularly good. Most people don't associate this inhospitable brush country with meat quality, but I haven't found a better tasting meat in any other region. It's truly the best of all worlds. As generations before us have experienced, life sustains life. I'm thankful my ancestors were successful hunters. I'm thankful to carry on their tradition.
He's the real deal.
He is awesome.
Super fantastic.
Super fantastic. Super
my
fantastic.
Phone is blowing up.
Check out our new book, Winning with the Wildlife, only on Amazon.